The first one is to know your edge. As we heard, actually, the best traders, measured by the percentage of days they're up versus down, is usually no more than 60 or 65% of the time. Whereas a roulette wheel, a monkey throwing darts at a board, or flipping a coin could presumably, be right at least 50% of the time. So what's all the fuss about, frankly? But then how do we explain the fact that there are some traders and some funds who've gone 10, 20, 30 years producing incredibly outsized returns, sometimes never having had a down year? Does it really all boil down to chance and the fact that somebody has to win, or is there something else? My view, from what I've seen, there's no real universal trading strategy that works, but one of the things that great traders have in common, like we heard, is that the wins are much bigger than the losses. Said another way, people seem to be betting much bigger when they're winning than when they're losing. Great traders, that is. So success isn't really all just about the frequency of how often you can win. It's really about the magnitude with which you can win. And to affect this, it's all about having the conviction and the belief to bet big, because you can't win big without betting big, obviously. The real differentiator I've found between the good and the great traders is that great traders are able to spot those particular moments in their life when they have what's called edge. It takes a certain bravery to know when the odds are particularly tipped in your scale and to be able to have the conviction to bet big enough to capitalize on that. So when you believe you're onto something great, whether it's a trade or an idea or maybe a relationship, whatever, if you're only willing to risk the same amount as when you're onto something which is just good, then you're never really going to maximize your gains, because as we've seen, simply being consistent isn't really enough to produce the kind of outsized returns that the great traders have had.